Hi friends, it's Alyssa. I am here with another reading for you today. I hope everybody has been doing well. Today's reading is going to be a look at what the first quarter of 2025 has in store for you. This is not going to be specifically about relationships or money or work or anything in particular. This is just going to be a general look at what you may be able to expect in the next few months. We have 3 piles of cards here. On top of each pile is a card from the Anubis Oracle. So these are going to be your choices for today. Pile number 1 has the Dove card. Pile number 2 is the Sphinx. And pile number 3 is Khepera. The timestamps for each pile will be in the description as always. Before we start, I do also need to say thank you to my channel members. Thank you so much, Marigold and Stephanie, for being here. If you are interested in becoming a member of the channel, the link to do so will be in the description as well. We have stickers, we have early access to new videos, as well as members only videos every month. Plus my level 3 members get discounted personal readings. If you're interested in a personal reading with me, the link to my Etsy store will also be in the description. And I do have pretty open availability at the moment. Usually it's about 1 week wait time, but I do also have the priority readings available right now, which is a turnaround time of 48 hours or less. So check that out if you're interested. So, yeah, let's go ahead and get right into this with group number 1. All right, group 1, if you chose the Dove card. So I'm going to start by just reading to you a little bit of the description of this card. The dove represents the seeker as the archetypal principle of the innocent initiate who responds to the call to enter the mysteries or to request information or advice from the oracle. The dove is brave and courageous in the search for wisdom and truth, and learns to trust his or her own inner knowing when engaging not only with the oracle, but also with the powerful transformational forces encountered on this path. If you've chosen this card, you are being called to a place of innocence and trust, purity and new beginnings. To fully receive the guidance that is being offered to you, you must be willing to empty out your old programming and beliefs, as well as your intellectual skepticism. Something new is coming. It may be time for you to begin again. In other words, to become like a small child or a babe in the womb, open to new information. This is also a time when an outer teacher may appear to guide you on your path. You may find yourself drawn to new teachings or new paths, including mystery schools. Now is the moment to respond fearlessly to that inner call. So that was a little bit of the description of this card, and basically, I mean, this is very, very much like the Fool in the tarot. The number on this card is 0. We have the keywords initiate, innocence, and trust. There is definitely this sense of wonder and seeking, longing with this card. And like the description said, this is very much talking about like something new, some kind of new, fresh energy coming in for you guys, group 1. We have regeneration. So this is a card of healing and renewal. If you look at the image on this card, we see this tree. It's very, it looks like it was maybe dying, but it has these little sprigs of like new growth popping up all over it. So it's kind of like a new life, a second chance. We also have here well-being. We have new moon in Cancer. You and your loved ones are safe. And for your tarot, we've got the 3 of Cups, 3 of Swords, the Star, the Queen of Swords, and Justice. So there is definitely kind of a theme here about healing or about restoration. We've got the star right here in the middle of your tarot cards. And the star is very similar to the regeneration card in the sense that, again, this is something that often talks about healing, or it talks about, like I said, restoration. And also the star can relate to wish fulfillment or manifestation, or just like making our dreams reality. And also there's just this real sense of like optimism with the star card. Oftentimes we see it indicating, you know, hopefulness, hope for the future. The Three of Cups here, this often talks about friendship or unity, people coming together. We've got the Three of Swords, which is a fairly heavy energy. Oftentimes this talks about heartbreak or betrayal, just grief, some kind of, you know, mental or emotional anguish. We also have the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords is a very logical, very rational kind of figure. She can indicate some degree of emotional detachment or coldness, but she's also just very focused and very determined, very driven. And Justice is kind of a straightforward card. It's about fairness. It's about balance, reciprocation, the idea that you know, everything we do has a consequence. Every choice we make has a consequence, cause and effect, right? And we also have some more sword imagery with this card. So we have 3 cards here that are showing us swords, which swords, just generally speaking, are very much about like our thoughts. They're very much associated with logic and, you know, reason. Sometimes these can be about like cutting away things that we no longer need as well, kind of cutting out the things, cutting out the excess, cutting out the things that are not serving us, something like that. So what I'm seeing here for you, Group 1, is that the first quarter of 2025, I feel like, is going to see you kind of entering into like a new chapter of your life where you are starting to really prioritize yourself, like your own happiness, your own well-being, because I just really get this sense of it's not selfishness, but it feels like you may be reprioritizing some things, you know, kind of thinking about, okay, what is something going on in my life right now that isn't serving me? What is something that is maybe holding me back? Or what is something that is preventing me from moving forward with my life, or preventing me from being the best version of myself that I can be? I really just see you guys refocusing on you and like doing the things that make you happy, and surrounding yourself with people and situations and environments where you can actually thrive. The Three of Cups here does imply that the next few months may see you spending a lot of time with your close friends or loved ones, or maybe even forming some new friendships, some new connections with people who really understand you, who really like are, you know, operating on the same frequency that you can actually like connect with in a meaningful way. Maybe for the first time in your life, even finding people that you can just really truly vibe with. I kind of get the impression that maybe a lot of you, Group 1, in your lives have always felt a little bit like an outcast maybe, or you've never really felt like you were truly like part of the group, or, you know, you always just kind of felt a little bit left out, or a little bit like you didn't quite belong, you didn't quite fit in with, everybody else around you. But I feel like 2025 is going to be different in that sense. I feel like in the new year, like I said, you may very well find, be meeting some new people who, for the first time, may actually make you feel like, this is where I belong, or like I really feel like I fit in here with this group, or in this friendship, feeling like you're no longer out of place, feeling like you've kind of found the spot where you fit. I already mentioned how, I'm seeing you guys really starting to prioritize your own happiness, your own well-being, not just mentally and emotionally, but also physically, also spiritually, perhaps. Some of you in the new year may, be starting a new like fitness journey, or, wellness journey in general. And also some of you might start like looking deeper into, the spiritual side of things. Some of you may start studying religion or philosophy, or just start exploring some new spiritual paths. And kind of going along with that, I touched on this already as well, but you may need to start cutting ties with certain people that may be in your life currently, or you may need to start extracting yourself from certain situations that you find yourself in right now. For some of you, this could manifest as, you leaving a job where the work environment is toxic, or where you just feel really unhappy or unfulfilled. For some of you, this could mean cutting off, certain relationships, either friendships or romantic partners, or maybe even like family members that are just causing you a lot of grief in whatever way. And for others of you, this could be something a little bit more like practical, I want to say, or a bit more literal. It could mean you totally changing your eating habits, or your exercise routine, or something like that. This could be more about a lifestyle change, okay? And I feel like for a lot of you, you have an idea of what this is going to be talking about, because I think for the vast majority of you who chose this pile, this is something you've already thought a lot about. This is something that you already have been like wanting to do, but maybe you just haven't quite been able to start taking those first steps yet, or maybe you have started taking those initial steps. But I feel like in the new year, you're really gonna start seeing some progress, or you're finally going to be able to start taking more concrete steps towards, creating this new life that you want to have, okay? So definitely I feel like 2025 is going to be off to a really positive start for you, group one. Like I said, I'm seeing a lot of like just lifestyle changes in store, and that could be, physically, but it could also be spiritually. It could be concerning your relationships, or even all of the above. You could decide that it's time to just clean house entirely, and totally revamp your life. There's nothing nothing wrong with that. But I also feel that kind of as a result of these changes that you're going to be making, you will find yourself connecting with other like-minded people, who will help to kind of facilitate this journey that you're embarking on, or who will help to support you as you're heading down this new path. And I really just see you guys so focused and so like laser focused on your goals and achieving those things, and getting where you need to be in order to really like manifest whatever it is that you want to create, because you have that power. You absolutely have the power, you have the resources, and I feel like you have the determination as well. You have that determination. You've got all the ingredients you need. You've got all the equipment you need. So, you know, don't be afraid to take this leap. Some of you maybe haven't started taking any steps towards making these changes yet because you're just a little bit intimidated, or you're just not sure if you're going to be successful. You're never going to know if you'll be successful unless you start trying, right? So yeah, as we are moving into January, as we're moving into the new year, I would say group 1, now is absolutely the time to start taking those baby steps towards this new life that you want to create for yourself. Because I feel that you have the potential to be so successful in it. Okay, so don't let fear, don't let anxiety, and don't let other people hold you back. Okay, this is gonna be the year for you to really start prioritizing your needs and your goals, and you know, the things that you want to achieve, want to manifest. All right, group 1. So I think I'm going to leave that there. Those are really all the messages that I am getting for you guys. Just kind of a little quick reading today, but I hope this resonated with you. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much for joining me today, guys. I really appreciate it, and I hope I see you next time. Bye. All right, if you chose group 2, the Sphinx, what does the first quarter of 2025 have in store for you? So I'm going to start by just reading to you some of the description for this card. So the Sphinx, the divine messenger. The Sphinx has mystified the world for thousands of years, and recent research suggests that it is far older than was initially thought. This deity is carved from one giant protrusion of bedrock, grounded in the heart of Egypt. The Sphinx is the divine messenger and repository of cosmic, akashic, or spiritually informed wisdom. While theories abound about the great knowledge hidden under the Sphinx, in actuality, this being contains the information himself. He or she is the cosmic library. The very granite of the Sphinx's being holds and retains far more than the knowledge of the adepts who did the carving. Indeed, the Sphinx functions as a medium between us and the vast intelligent source in the stars. This mysterious one transmits messages from our ancient ancestors to those that are ready to receive them. This is an opportunity for you to connect with the Akashic Records, which hold the inner map of your life and your potential future. As you develop your relationship with the Sphinx, you will strengthen your capacities to open to guidance and fully receive it. This is not only true for divine guidance. This divine messenger can also direct you to other allies on the earth plane who will assist you in your ongoing quests. If you feel called to vast knowledge beyond time and space, pay close attention when you connect with this magnificent earth altar, guardian of the stellar mysteries. Okay, so let's see now what other cards you guys have. We've got the Tribe. We've got Life Purpose. Okay. We have What Do You Need to Release? Waning Moon. And your tarot cards are the Two of Cups, the Devil, the Queen of Swords, the Three of Cups, and the Two of Swords. Okay, so the very first thing that's coming through here for you, group 2, is this idea that the new year, I feel, is going to see a lot of you guys really starting to focus more on the spiritual aspect of your life, or your own spirituality, your own understanding of yourself and, you know, the universe and your place in it. There definitely seems to be a big emphasis on that kind of thing here. You know, with this divine messenger card, with the life purpose card here, and also the tribe, because the tribe a lot of times represents like soul family, you know, finding people that you connect with very deeply in a very meaningful way. It can talk about soulmates, or just those that you share some kind of soul connection with. And just, you know, kind of finding a place where you belong, where you feel like you really fit in, where people just kind of get you, that kind of thing. We also have the Two of Cups here, which this card is about like balance, unity, partnerships, and also alignment. It often we see it representing like two people being in alignment with each other, but it doesn't necessarily have to be like two romantic, you know, partners, like a couple. It can also just represent any kind of partnership, a business partnership, a close family relationship, or even sometimes we see this kind of thing indicating like you in relation to the universe or to spirit, your partnership with, you know, those greater forces, if that makes sense. We also have the Three of Cups here, which is a little bit similar. This card also talks about unity and togetherness and, you know, very strong bonds between people. We've got the Two of Swords, which is about like having to make a choice. We often see this representing some kind of stalemate, or like somebody feeling stuck, feeling unable to make a decision about something. We've got the Queen of Swords. This is very, you know, in contrast to the Two of Swords, the Queen of Swords tends to be very decisive. She tends to be extremely focused, extremely, you know, logical, rational, a very like a no-nonsense kind of individual. And then the Devil card. This is, a lot of times the devil talks to us about like restriction. It can represent anything that holds us back from being our best selves, or that holds us back from, you know, our accomplishing our, you know, goals, our ambitions, etc. Things like addiction or codependency or toxic relationships or mental health problems, things like that are often represented by the Devil card. And also this Waning Moon card, what do you need to release? This is kind of self-explanatory. This card talks about, you know, evaluating, okay, what are the things in my life right now that are not serving me? What are the things that I may need to walk away from in order to create space for something new, something better to come in? So group 2, I really feel like the emphasis here is on you guys in 2025 starting to really come into your own, like stepping into your own power, learning more about yourselves, and specifically about your place in this world, your purpose in it. Like, what is your life purpose? Some of you, I feel, already have an idea of what your life purpose may be, but for whatever reason, perhaps you just have never really had an opportunity to actually do that thing, whatever it is. And for others of you, I feel like you may still be very, you know, unsure about what your purpose is. And, you know, either way, I feel like 2025, the first few months of the year, will see you guys really starting to seriously explore what your purpose is here, and also just exploring, I feel like, your you know, your own relationship with spirit more generally. I think some of you may be feeling held back by your current circumstances, or maybe by certain people that are in your life. For some of you, like specifically, I get the sense that maybe you have very like religious family members or people that you're close to who just don't really understand, you know, this type of thing or something like that. People who might be kind of I don't know, people who might scoff kind of at, you know, some of your spiritual beliefs or ideas about this type of stuff. But whatever the case, I feel like the time is approaching where you are going to kind of break away from these restrictions, whatever they might be. These restrictions, these relationships, circumstances, environments, etc., whatever, that are holding you back, that are keeping you, you know, feeling stuck. I see you releasing the things that are keeping you stuck. And for some of you, it may not even be external forces. It may be like your own thoughts or your own beliefs that are kind of holding you back. It could be a self-limiting thing that you've been experiencing. But regardless, I see you guys in the new year kind of, you know, starting to break away from whatever it is that has prevented you from really discovering your full potential or discovering your purpose. And I see you really making progress in the new year towards doing that, towards finding your purpose, finding your quote unquote tribe, people that really truly do understand you, or people that may be able to support you on your journey, whether that be friends or romantic partners or even like teachers or mentors. I feel you may be connecting with others who may be able to teach you a lot of new you know, ideas, or teach you about just discovering what your divine purpose is. I don't feel like anybody I don't really feel like anybody else is going to be able to tell you what your divine purpose is. I feel like that is something that you may need to discover for yourself, but I do feel that you could be connecting with people who will help you on that journey of, you know, self discovery. And also just like this Two of Cups, you know, while for some this could be representing like a romantic relationship coming in, or a new partner or something like that, or if you're currently in a relationship, it could be indicating like you know, the relationship going to the next level or something like that. But I feel more generally that this Two of Cups is representing like you getting into alignment with spirit, like with the ancestors, with your spirit guides, with the universe as a whole, coming into alignment with those energies and really starting to work towards discovering what your place is in this world, in this lifetime. What is it that you're meant to be doing? What is your purpose here? What are you supposed to accomplish? You could be making a lot of new friends in the new year, or, you know, this Three of Cups could just simply be representing like you connecting with other like-minded people. Like I said, possibly teachers or mentors, or just others who are maybe on the same kind of journey, and you know, you may be able to support one another and give each other encouragement and that kind of thing. But yeah, group 2, that is what I'm seeing here for you guys. That's what I'm seeing as far as what the first quarter of 2025 has in store for you. And it's kind of interesting because group 1 had a similar message. So I'm wondering if maybe this is like, I'm wondering if this kind of thing is going to be an applicable theme like for a large number of people, if maybe there is this sort of like mass awakening, or this, you know, movement that's about to start happening. Maybe 2025 will see a large number of people kind of, you know, raising their level of awareness of these things, leveling up, so to speak. I don't know. but it's a very interesting idea, and I really hope that this resonated with you, group 2. I wanted to keep this reading just kind of short and to the point. So yeah, I think that's going to do it for you guys. Those are all the messages that I am getting for you at the moment. I really hope that this reading was helpful. I hope that this resonated and maybe gave you some insight into things. Thank you so much for joining me today, guys. I really appreciate it, and I hope I see you next time. Bye! And finally, if you chose group 3, let's find out what the first quarter of 2025 has in store for you guys. So your card is Kepera. So I'm just going to read you really quickly the description, or part of the description for this card. Cycles of change. Kepera is known as the Becoming One, the ancient scarab beetle who pushes the solar orb above the horizon at dawn. The scarab represents the gentle rays of the morning sun and is closely associated with creation and resurrection. Kepera is a loyal guardian and protector of planet Earth and all her creatures. In tune with the cycles of life and the cosmos, Kepera ceaselessly works to bring forth the necessary changes that allow creation to keep moving forward. As a spiral dancer who filters and transmits the powerful stellar and cosmic forces that radiate onto our planet and into all of Earth's creatures, Kepera mitigates these energies while holding the balance of time and the tuning of the ages in his feet. If you have drawn this card, it is time to increase your awareness of the more subtle energies that are influencing you. You are encoding the mystery teachings of the spiral dance and the nature of change, and Kepera is there to protect and support you during this quickening. It is through the intercession of Kepera that you are able to handle the energies that are moving towards you at any given moment. With the heightened awareness that Kepera offers, you can become a co-creator of your universe. If your situation requires protection, feel the energies of Kepera surround and enfold you, especially when you find yourself in a physically or emotionally toxic environment. Okay, so that's what we have there. Let's see what other cards came out for you guys. Okay, we've got chaos and conflict. We've got peace. Okay, very contrasting energies. And we've got North Node, step out of your comfort zone. And your tarot cards are the Sun, the Devil, the High Priestess, the Nine of Cups, and the Moon. Interesting. So group 3, there is definitely, let's see, how do I want to say this? There is definitely some very hectic energy coming through here with these cards. I mean, we've got chaos and conflict. Obviously, this card is pretty self-explanatory. We also have the Devil. The Devil can represent anything that is restricting, anything that's holding you back. Things like addiction, codependency, toxic relationship, mental health problems, that sort of thing is often represented by the Devil card, but really it can be anything that is limiting you or anything that is, a negative influence in your life. We also have the High Priestess. This card talks about seeking wisdom. She's a very spiritual, very insightful kind of figure. We've got the Moon, which can represent confusion or illusions, uncertainty. We often see this representing someone feeling kind of lost in the dark, seeking clarity, kind of similar to the High Priestess. Both of these cards in this deck have this moon imagery. And then North Node, step out of your comfort zone. This is kind of self-explanatory as well. This card is talking about stepping out of your comfort zone, trying something new and maybe taking a risk. And then we have this card that's talking about, the cycles of change and these, cosmic forces at work around us. We also have the Sun, which is a very positive energy, generally speaking. It is about illumination, finding your way forward, and also, wish fulfillment and accomplishment and those kinds of things. And then the Nine of Cups is emotional fulfillment or satisfaction. It can also represent getting something that you want and just I just see the Nine of Cups like representing somebody feeling really on top of things, really on top of the world, emotionally very full. And then the Peace card. Peace, tranquility, being or feeling at ease. Group 3, I feel like 2025, the first few months of 2025 could be kind of tumultuous for you guys. There could be some pretty significant changes that will be coming in that will cause you to feel very unsettled, make you feel very like unstable, or just kind of like your life. Okay, I don't want to scare anybody. This is just a general reading, so take what applies to you and leave the rest behind. If something doesn't resonate, don't try to make it fit. But I feel like the next few months could bring in some really substantial changes in your lives, group 3. Like, you could find yourself feeling as though your life has been turned completely upside down, even. Things like changes at work, changes in your job, maybe even the loss of a job, changes in your close relationships, whether that be romantic partnerships or friendships, or your relationship with your family, your living situation. Even there could be some uncertainty or instability there as well, and even like financially. I just feel like I feel like 2025 could be off to a little bit of a rough start for you guys, and you may find yourself feeling just very unsure of things, very like anxious or very worried about what's going to happen next. But I feel like these changes are ultimately going to be for the best. I feel like in the end, I feel like as time goes on, you will start to see why these changes happened, or why these things were turned upside down. Some of you maybe have already started experiencing this. Some of you maybe have already experienced some conflict in your lives or some chaos in your lives recently. For others of you, maybe this hasn't begun yet, but yeah, I feel like there is a higher purpose to all of this, and it may not be immediately clear to you. You may find yourself asking, why is this happening? Why does it seem like nothing is going right for me? You may feel as though, like, who did I piss off, right? Like am I being hexed? Is spirit, are the gods angry with me? No, I feel like spirit is going to make you very uncomfortable in the new year, because they want you, how do I want to say this? I mean, to put it simply, they want you to get out of your comfort zone. And so they're going to force you out of your comfort zone. Some of you maybe have felt in the past led to do certain things, or led to make certain changes in your lives, but you just haven't really done it. Maybe you just, maybe you've just been very comfortable with the way that your life has been. Maybe you have prioritized comfort and stability over, adventure, or accomplishing like your big dreams and stuff like that. But I feel like you're going to be kind of forced to get outside of this safe, comfy bubble that you have created for yourself, and you're going to be forced to actually start doing some of these things that maybe you've always dreamed of doing, or maybe you've always felt called to do, but you just haven't done for whatever reason. I think especially if maybe there are people in your life who have been kind of, I don't want to say controlling, I don't want to say that anybody has necessarily dictated your life, but if you have in the past maybe really just tried to go along with other people's expectations of you, I feel like that, like whatever you have built as a result of that or surrounding that, is going to start coming apart. Yeah. And like, I don't want you guys to be scared. I don't want you to be anxious about what's to come. But I do feel like you may need to start preparing yourself for, you know, like explore other options perhaps. Maybe ask yourself, you know, if my life completely fell apart tomorrow, what would I do? How would I rebuild? What would I like to do? You know, if I had total freedom to pursue anything that I wanted, what would I do? Where would I go? You know, ask yourself those kinds of questions. And this is not to say that your life is going to completely fall apart. Don't be worried about that. But I just do feel like there is going to be some disruption in the coming months. I do feel that there is going to be something that's going to push you out of your comfort zone, that's going to push you to actually start taking steps towards something that you have felt called to do, or something that you have always wanted to do, but for whatever reason you just haven't done it, you just haven't looked into it, you know, whatever. 2025 I feel like is probably going to be a pretty significant year for many of you, group 3. So I feel like I feel like my best advice for you here is to just be prepared to, like, I don't want to say be prepared to, sorry, I'm trying to figure out the best way I want to explain this without like alarming anybody. Well, okay, let me put it this way. Be prepared to embrace chaos. Be prepared to embrace conflict. Maybe embrace isn't quite the right word there, but you know, there's going to be disruptions. There's going to be big changes coming towards you for many of you. For some of you, these changes may not be quite so large scale, but I feel like there will be changes coming in nonetheless. And when they start happening, when things start to become disrupted, when you start being forced outside of this, you know, your bubble, don't be afraid. Like, don't feel like you've done anything wrong, because you haven't. I think that Spirit is just trying to push you towards, you know, what is really truly going to fulfill you, what is really truly going to make you like see the truth of like who you are and what your purpose is and what part you're meant to play here in this world, in this lifetime. And as a result of all of that, you will find peace. As a result of the chaos, as a result of the madness, you will ultimately find peace. You will ultimately find rest and serenity. And that may sound counterintuitive. That may sound contrary to everything that I just said. But I think that's going to be the end result. It's like, in order for you to actually achieve you know, peace, achieve clarity, achieve true understanding of who you are and the purpose you have here in this lifetime, you're gonna have to go through some, you know, you're gonna have to face some bumps in the road. You're gonna have to go through this kind of, I want to say, period of tribulation. But in the end, you know, when everything else falls away that is not necessary, when everything falls away that you do not need, that is not serving you, when you finally arrive at your destination, the destination that is meant for you, then you'll see, you know, oh, that's why all of this has happened. This, eventually you will get to a point where you can say, this right here is why I have been through all the things that I've been through. This is why all of that stuff happened. This is what has led me to this moment and all the ups and downs that I experienced along the way. It was all for this. Eventually you will find that. You will have that moment of clarity. And I feel like this year is going to really see you taking large strides along that journey of, you know, getting to that point. So group 3, I think I'm going to leave that there. Those are really all the messages that I am getting for you at the moment. I hope this was helpful. I hope that this reading resonated with you. Again, please don't be frightened. Okay. I don't think there's anything for you to be scared of. Just, you know, be ready to think outside the box a little bit. Be ready to be, you know, quick on your feet. Okay. 2025 is going to be a little bit of a hectic year, but I feel like it's going to be ultimately a good year for you, group 3, okay? So, yeah, I wanted to just kind of keep today's reading a little bit short and sweet and to the point, so I think I did that. But yeah, thank you so much for joining me today, guys. I really appreciate it, and I hope I see you next time. Bye!